I'm in the shed because I'm by this box. This box has a whole bunch of old magazines from Legos. Yeah, Lego magazines. So I'm going to go through some of those Lego magazines just for a little while. This isn't going to be me online for a long time, so this is just going to be a little bit of a show. And another one of those, like, test runs, basically. I'm starting to try some different things, trying to figure out some other things, what I like more, what's more fun to do while live, stuff like that. So I'm trying to figure this out, and this is really just the third test of me going live, if we're being honest. And I'm still figuring some things out, and I'm having a good time doing it, but, you know, for right now, I'm just seeing how the process goes. And the process is nice, so it isn't incredibly boring. But I went through these 3 magazines yesterday, and these ones were just Lego magazines that were Star Wars and Adventures Beyond types of Bionicles types of magazines right here. Really, this is where I keep the magazines and the old instruction booklets for all of my old Lego sets. Like this one right here is the Android kit, and the Android kit is when you built R2-D2, like one of the first versions of R2-D2. So this one's like, you see how they built it. It was really small. It's like it was like this big. It was a very tiny R2-D2, but you could program it to do things, and that was really fun to do. So that was what I wanted to show you on that aspect. But really, we're not here for that. We're here for this part. I want to show you guys some things real quick. Now, these are Lego magazines, and they're all like very dated. This is the year 2002. This one is the Gladiator Bionicle stuff attached to it. There was a whole bunch of different types of stories that were being told through Legos that weren't intellectual property that you're familiar with today. They had like their own thing going on, but they also had some Marvel stuff happening too. I forgot that they had Spider-Man Lego sets, and Spider-Man Lego sets were pretty cool. I never got one, but there's also a Steven Spielberg character that I think I do actually have, because I did get the Steven Spielberg set, because you could make little movies. But this was Join the Quest, a Lego thing that didn't really take off. No, this pretty much died where it stands right here. I don't remember it going very far at all, but they had, like, you know, really special characters and a storyline that I don't even remember. I don't remember it at all, but this is also when they started doing Harry Potter Legos. The Harry Potter Legos were pretty epic for the time being. Now everything is way more elaborate. When you look at a Lego set for Harry Potter, it's like 10 times bigger and more elaborate than anything that was sold back then. It was very simplified. Hogwarts looked like this. Like if you wanted to buy Hogwarts, it was this. So I've seen Lego sets that they have now, and they don't look like that one. Not at all. Nope. And then, like, you know, the train and Hagrid's hut actually kind of still looks the same. I feel like I've seen this one still kind of around. That one seems to, the foosball, the Lego foosball that they used to have back in the day. This one basically is, well, since it's 2002, a lot of this stuff's going to be their original stories. Like this is the deep sea adventures that they had going on. Yeah, it had some really elaborate submarines that I used to get that were very difficult to build. One of my cousins accidentally knocked it out of my hands when I was like coming in to the house for a family gathering once, and I dropped it, and well, I cried pretty hard, and I held it against him for a while. I couldn't believe he picked me up, and I just dropped it and it broke, but it was an incredibly difficult Lego to build, and I was able to rebuild it. But it was very hard. I was too young too. It was one of those ones that I shouldn't have even been doing for the age group I was. Regardless, that's now we were looking at, yeah, here's another one of like the original story concepts for Legos that you could buy from them. This one's another Bionicle section, and these are like half figure Bionicles that you fight with them. They had the ability to like throw things and whatnot, and they were an interesting group of Legos that you could buy that were more like Technic. It wasn't completely like Legos. It had a little bit of Technic going on with it. And these are the original Bionicles that were released first. The Bionicle thing did end up lasting quite a while. This is the Millennium Falcon. Yesterday I showed one of these magazines as well, and the Millennium Falcon is actually something I saved up for when I was a kid. I bought that, and it's $99 in 2002, and this is the Millennium Falcon 7190, which is different than the other Millennium Falcons, the ones that you'd see today. Yeah, and then they kept always releasing new starfighters and stuff. This is when Legos really they really had us in the palm of their hands. That's where we were. This one's the 100 Ways to Play this summer with Legos, and this one's a shop at home edition that had like everything. I always loved the summer ones. The summer ones were really crazy. This one is the summer of 2003. So this is 2003, just a year later, I guess, from all the ones we just looked through. This is also when they launched the mini Legos that were just like tiny Legos that you could buy that were Star Wars themed, that were like all collectibles. It made sense because this is 2003, so that means that like they were ramping up for the Clone Wars stuff. But you know, Clone Wars had just started, I guess. Yeah, that's a Clone Wars Lego right there, the AT-AT, which I never got this. I always wanted to get the AT-AT. I just never got around to it. I really wanted the Millennium Falcon more, and I don't regret that decision. This was also the first time that they released one of these Imperial Star Destroyers, I think. Yeah, that's what these are, Imperial Star Destroyers. So this one is like 3,000 pieces, and yeah, this was the first time that they released an Imperial Star Destroyer, which was pretty impressive. I never got that one either. I actually wasn't really interested in getting it. It kind of looked just too much for me. But to continue on, in the summer of 2003, this magazine has featured a car. Yeah, I don't remember getting these, but I do remember them doing stuff like that, because it's not just one car. It's like it turns into multiples. As you can see, there's like multiple things that you can make with the same pieces. Oh, the monkey. I did always want to get the monkey. The monkey looks funny, right? The Lego monkey right there? Yeah, you see that. Yeah. Oh, the tractor. That one's a pretty cool one. I did want to get that. I never got around to it. Yeah, you couldn't get all the Legos you wanted to get growing up, or I couldn't at least. It was very hard for me to save up for at least one of them, so I couldn't get every single one that I wanted. This one is more Bionicle stuff, and look, they already changed the Bionicles again. Like, this is just a year later. The Bionicles series of Lego Technics, whatever, that really had its own run. It wasn't the same as the other Legos, because like it would just follow this comic book that sometimes would run into a storyline that would also be an animated series, if I remember correctly. They put a lot into it, and I feel like it did well for them, but you know, the intellectual property that already exists always does better for them, rather than them creating a new one altogether. They did a lot of Bionicle sets though, and they even had their own shoes. I don't remember that at all, but there was shoes for Bionicles. Oh right, and then there was the Golden Dragon Lego sets. I remember getting these. These ones were all right. They were pretty cool. I mean, I don't think that anyone should really think less of them. Nor these castle ones as well. They're just as good too. There's nothing wrong with these castle ones. It's, you know, a little bit plainer, I guess. Yeah, not as futuristic stuff. The sci-fi stuff is always where it's at. All right, and then they had like their own Bratz thing going on. Oh right, and then they started also doing this section where they had like the $10 figures that you could buy, or the $10 little sets. I always enjoyed those. The mail-in to be able to, you know, get a Lego that's in the catalog, which I'm assuming if you sent this into Lego, I believe I mean, I don't know what they do, but I'd be interested to see if they filled the order, because you could still pay with credit card. You know, you see that? Yeah, you could pay with credit card right there, which is kind of funny that I haven't tried it already. I should give it a try. It looks like it'd be an interesting thing to do, and I don't know if they'd hold to the order price, but hey, I should at least try. They did also an extreme sports, which I don't remember these Legos at all. Do you remember these snowboarding Legos? Yeah, it looks like they made quite a bit. It was Go Extreme with Lego Sports. And they had snowboarding and skateboarding. And then it goes back into like this Bionicle-like type of feeling, but this time it's for hockey instead of foosball, which I'm assuming they still have foosball in here. Or is this when they, yeah, this is when they started doing the NBA Legos, which weren't around until now. 2003 is when they started really making the NBA Legos that made it so then you could like play with them in this way. This set didn't really work incredibly well. If you were playing with a lot of people, it kind of got crazy. It was more like, it was a lot of fun to do it on your own. But the Lego set from the NAB 2003 collection is actually still pretty cool to look at. I can't believe they took the time to do that, but at the same time, am I surprised? No, it was a good way to make money and a good partnership. Now, they also had like this racing set, which I don't remember their racing set like this, but this one was pretty cool. It looks like a Technic type of thing going on. And then here's the actual Technics that are like at the end of it. Oh, no. I did get this. I remember getting this. I got this for Christmas one year. I should probably find that manual and put this together, because that car was actually really cool. It was a really cool car to build. And then you got Hogwarts again right there. Gas stations and city stuff. The police station. Now, I never got the police station, but I did have a friend that had the police station. It was alright. It wasn't the best. Yeah, I mean, like the automobile was pretty cool, but it wasn't the best. No. These trains, I never got any of these ones, but I always enjoyed the train sets. I only got one of them, and then it seems like they just stopped selling that one. Oh, the pirate ship. Now I have this one, and I also have this one, which is the American Statue of Liberty. Yeah, I don't know how they advertise it, but right back then it was $199. I do have that set. That set's a classic set, and it's really nice. I also have this pirate ship. I remember saving up to get that one too. And it's like $90. I wonder how much that one goes for today, but this pirate ship was really fun to build and to play with. I remember being overly entertained. It was just too much at times. Overly entertained, right? So that pretty much does it for this magazine. And then when we look down here, I believe like the last years I got them probably would have been in 2005, because that's kind of like, you know, when I stopped playing with Legos when I was a sophomore in high school. We stop when we want to stop. But that's, I think, the last time I really played with Legos and got Legos. This one is September 2000, I think. I don't know. It's hard to tell sometimes on some of these dates because it kind of has some artwork that covers it up. But it does look like September 2000. This is Summer Catalog 2000. So we're close. So I guess that one could be another oh, right. And then they had more of this stuff from Star Wars. Some soccer things. Yeah, see, there's those soccer sets I was talking about. The ones that are like foosball sets that you can get. Yeah, that one's pretty cool. Let's see. What else is in here? There's some pretty intense ones. Yeah, like, I really love these types because it's kind of like just Legos being Legos, breaking some rules. See, that's Obi-Wan Kenobi sitting next to Jango Fett. And they're just on a chairlift. Just going on up a mountain, I guess. That's just what they're doing. They're just hanging out, having a good time. This is more of like it has a lot of written inserts because this is one of the holiday Lego magazines that they would use to promote more toys that would be attached to like a bigger issue. See, like the kind of like merges all the worlds that they've created in their own IPs. And then it turns into people that submitted their Lego builds into the magazine, and then they selected multiples and they put them into the magazine for that time. Yeah, and it's just like for that one issue, they don't get a reoccurring spot where their build is, but a lot of these people take a picture of themselves next to their build or just of their build. They send it in, and if Lego likes it enough, they put it into the magazine just like this. I never got into it, but I never mailed in any of the... Oh, this isn't even for sale, but this is like a full build of the Clone Wars arena. And this is this December 2002. Oh, and Captain Crunch promotion right there. Oh, and a maze. Oh, that's great. I never did this maze. Well, maybe one day I'll do it. Most likely not, though. I mean, if I haven't done it already, why would I do it now? That doesn't really make sense. And then more Harry Potter stuff. Good. Yeah, and then a bunch of coupons that I'm guessing have all expired. Yeah, they've all expired. Yeah. Manufacturer's coupon expires in 2002. So all of these coupons have expired, but it is nice to see that there are still some coupons in there. You know? Oh, and then the information to go to lego.com to join the Lego Club, which I remember going on to this site. This was really fun. You need parent supervision. You needed to make a nickname and a user password. You had to accept the rules to the club. This is classic. I love how they did the insert. Lego Club Online. And it went through build your own Lego webpage and stuff like that. There was some pretty cool things online in the early 2000s. I mean, it's the 2000s, right? What else is in this box? Oh, wow. There's a lot of Star Wars stuff. I think this one ripped apart. Bring it home. Oh, this one's pretty cool. This is 1998. So this is a Lego magazine for Shop at Home holidays of 1998. Now this one's pretty classic as well, and one of the best magazine covers. Look at this magazine cover. It's pretty cool, right? It's a truck jumping a bridge. Yeah, how can you not be entertained with a truck jumping a bridge? It has a train set, and this smiley face, you know, that you see right here, you see that smiley face? Yeah, that's an indication that I would want this. Because I used to put smiley faces next to the things that maybe my mom could get me for the holidays, because this is the December edition. Yeah, see, look, there's a smiley face right there, and I actually did get that one. That one's one of the ones I got. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It was called the Rescue Cruiser. It was like a hovercraft. And then there was a bunch of other ones in this set, but I think I only got that one. And I remember my friend, my next door neighbor, got this helicopter because we built the helicopter at their house, and that one was pretty sick. So this is the Rescue Squad. That's how they labeled these in this collection. But I didn't get all of these ones, but it is really cool to see this again, because this one was a great set, and I'm sure I still have the manuals in this box. There was also this one, which was pretty cool. I don't think I got that set. I like how I put a smiley face next to this one. It's such a simple Lego, but it just looks so cool. And I still would put a smiley face by it. I hope I got that one. I don't know if I did get it for Christmas, but it was only $9. So hopefully I did. I remember I didn't get either of these ones. I got that trash truck one because my dad works in waste management. So of course my mom got me the trash truck one. I just put a smiley face by it and bam. And it was one of the ones I got. I didn't get this one, even though it's epic. It's a really crazy police station, and I didn't get that one. These are all sets from 1998, by the way. This is a 1998 magazine, holiday magazine, and there's a whole bunch in here that just screams 1990s, and I love seeing it. It's a real blast to the past. Do you remember these crazy like space station Legos that they used to sell? This one, I remember my friend got this one, or his brother got it, and we went over and we could watch him put it together. We couldn't help. I remember watching him put it together, and it was over 20 inches long, and it was a really cool Lego. I really wanted to help build, but it never happened. I remember getting this one, but I didn't put a smiley face by it, but I believe my mom got me this one for Christmas too. You know, you don't always get what you want, you just get what they can buy you, because it's the 90s. And consumerism pretty much controlled everything in the 90s. But I remember getting some of these Egyptian ones, which is the adventurers, which really just should have been like Indiana Jones, but they didn't really have that down yet. And this is also before The Mummy and The Mummy Returns, so it's not Brendan Fraser, but it kind of looks like it. It kind of looks like it's the guys from... No, it doesn't. But then again, there is that airplane, and if you remember how The Mummy has that airplane scene, I guess, I mean, yeah, whatever. Oh, and then these ones were really cool. These were the Shogun Ninja ones. These ones were epic. I loved putting together these sets. These sets are classic 90 sets right here. Classic 1998. Oh, and another one of my friends also got this one. These ones were really hard to build, but really cool looking. And they're like alien insects from outer space. It was a whole series that they had going on. Once again, they weren't diving into intellectual property like Marvel that much or anything. They were just doing their own thing. Lego was creating their own storylines and doing their own stuff. Oh, right. I did get this one. I remember that because I had that thing. Yeah, that piece is a very specific piece. But I don't think I got any of these other ones. But this is like insectoids. Insectoid sets for Legos from 1998. I completely forgot about that. These ones are really fun to make, but also didn't really make much sense as to why they existed. But, you know, this is the submarine section that, yeah, I don't know if the one that I built is in here, but these ones are really cool, and they were hard to make as well. 1998 editions of the hydrolator crystals. What is... Oh, they're called Hydronauts. These guys are called Hydronauts, and this is the collection that Lego would sell for the Hydronauts. And then these were the Stingrays, which were fighting the Hydronauts underwater, apparently. Now, I don't really remember that storyline, but these ones were really cool, too. Oh, yeah, these were epic underwater Lego sets, especially this one right here. It looks like a shark, but it's not a shark. It's a submarine. Huh? Yeah, see, that's why that one was a really popular set, and that's why people really loved getting that set and playing with it. There was the kids, the more like classic toys for infants that I don't remember them really promoting or peddling these later on in the 90s or in the 2000s, but in the 90s I assumed that they were selling a lot of these. People bought a lot more, or through magazines at least. Magazines were a really popular place to sell stuff. Was this Barbie? Kind of feels like Barbie, but I think it's unofficial. It's called the Scala Dolls, which really feels like some sort of ripoff from the intellectual property of Barbie. I don't really feel like this is legal, but hey, they were able to get away with it at the time, right? I mean, it doesn't say anything about Barbie, but you gotta admit, it really looks like Barbie. Yeah, you even got a guy that kind of looks like Ken and Barbie right there. Yeah. Oh, definitely. Just feels like it's called Belleville Collection? The Lego Belleville Collection? I don't know. I feel like it really just looks like Barbie and feels like Barbie and is Barbie, but it's not Barbie. Oh, right. I remember getting this. I got this and built this. This one was really fun. Yeah, Legoland was promoting itself at this point in time in 1998, and it makes sense. It was new. was about to open up. Then they had these dragons. Everyone loved getting the dragons. The dragons were some of the coolest pieces you could get back in the 90s. And then they had the computer game. Yeah, that's sick. That's an old computer game ad for Lego, so you could build whatever kind of Lego you wanted to build. And that one was for $40. A game still costs about the same. It's crazy how that works. For PC, Windows 95, 98 with 32 megabyte RAM. Nice. Now that game, like, oh gosh. And then the old Western stuff, which I remember getting this stuff. Western was a lot of fun. The Native American stuff, which is indigenous, which is pretty cool. And they didn't really label it as Cowboys and Indians, so they were being offensive. They weren't being that offensive back then, I guess. And then they had this really crazy UFO. Yeah, I remember these. Actually, now that I look at it, these ones were really crazy also. They were a very absurd, like, beyond Earth, which is what they should be because they're aliens, collection of Legos that were just, it was fascinating. They were really hard to make, and then they were really hard to play with, if I remember correctly. Like, they just weren't, like, held properly. Oh, and then there's also these underwater ones, which are just an underwater theme Lego set. I remember getting some of these too, but less of these. I didn't like the underwater stuff as much as the space and the frontier and the castle stuff. Yeah. And then they also had the Fright Night stuff, which was pretty cool, right? And then the castle with the glow-in-the-dark ghost. Everyone wanted to get the glow-in-the-dark ghost. If you had someone that had the glow-in-the-dark ghost at their house, that was a really big deal in the 90s. The glow-in-the-dark ghost in Lego sets was very uncommon. It was only in a couple of sets, and it was specifically inside of this castle set, which the castle was super fun to build and play with, but the ghost was the highlight of the set, because it also could, absorb light and then be glow in the dark. You had to put it in the light in order for it to start glowing, because it was like one of those glow in the dark things that used to, drive everyone crazy. Everyone had something that was glow in the dark, like a watch or something. But there's a lot of really cool sets and boats. The speedboats from the 90s that were in Lego sets. Oof, gosh, those ones were pretty awesome. Oh, look, there's that thing again. I put another smiley face by it, but it's the same Lego from earlier on in this same magazine. So they promoted it twice and it worked on me. I mean, I put a smiley face by it twice, which means I really want it. Now, I remember getting this train set, but when I was much older. This train set was really fun to make, and it was really cool in the sense of like how you could adjust and like switch out things. It had the ability for you to make different types of cars for inside of the train itself. Like if something was going to be transporting people or product, which was crazy that we took the time to like really make it, I guess, that accurate for kids. It was a lot of fun to make that train set though. I never got another train set after that one, but I didn't really need one. I wanted them, but I didn't need them. Oh, and then there was this like absurd story ones, which was like I don't know how to explain it, but you could see it right there, and it's like a ship that flies that has a monkey that like runs around. It's like their special. It's the time cruise. It's kind of like if they were to have the ability to make Back to the Future Legos, which they weren't in 1998. I guess this is like what they would have, because these guys are time cruisers and they have time machines that can go back in time and whatnot, and they can travel between the different sets. It's 1998. It really, like, they were thinking, like, how do we sell more sets? And how do we make the maximum amount of money? Yeah, and here's the Technic sets that they had that were so advanced. I didn't understand how hard they were until I got my first one. And they're difficult. They're difficult to make. But they had some pretty cool ones. Oh, yeah. Look at that one. That's a nice tractor truck. Pickup truck. Yeah. No, what is that? Oh, it's a tow truck. Yeah, that's pretty sick. Yeah. Okay, and then they had their... Yeah, that's basically how it ends. It just ends with these last holiday items, and then this really epic Egyptian set. Yeah, it's just on the back because they really want you to pay attention to it. And I put a huge smiley face by it. And I really wanted this set, and it was ages 8 to 12 with 710 pieces. And I remember getting it, and I remember being so pumped to put it together. It took me forever, but it was well worth it and a lot of fun to play with. People came over and loved playing with it. This was the 1998 Lego magazine for the holiday stay-at-home shopping that they had going on. It had 275 items in it. Yeah. It had a free Lego model when you made any order. I love how they were like all new computer game on pages 40 to 41. We already went and saw that one. But this is pretty fascinating stuff, right? It's nice looking at some of these old magazines and seeing how materialistic everything was in the 90s and what type of style Lego had back then. Like, they had style, and they had a lot of Lego sets that weren't infringing on any intellectual property, even though some of them looked exactly like Barbie. That's not really what's important. What's important is that there's even better Legos at another magazine of Shop at Home. This one's really like, I'm trying to figure out what year this was. This one's 2002? I thought I already went through one that was a 2002 one. And so like there was a 2002 one that I went through, and that one was, it was like the mini insert that had like some comic books and some promotions. This one's the actual 2002 Shop at Home, like holiday magazine. It's thicker, it has a lot more product in it, because, it's 2002, so people were still buying a lot of Legos, and specifically through magazines and showing up in person. So whenever anyone could, I know that they did the mail insert because it was just easier, but you couldn't really buy it easily online, so you had to like do it through this. And man, they basically have the Harry Potter Legos up in front in 2002, which makes sense because I believe that was when Chamber of Secrets Legos, that's when Chamber of Secrets was coming out, so they had promotions for that. Hogwarts was so wimpy back then. Now when you buy that set, it's really elaborate. It's really big, too. There's lots of pieces. Oh, yeah. I went through these ones yesterday when I was live, too. There are a lot of the same ones. Oh, wow. I always forget that they did do Spider-Man ones. There was one that I looked at earlier that was a Spider-Man Lego set, and this one's also a Spider-Man Lego set. I don't really have a light in this room, so it looks like I'm gonna have to stop streaming pretty soon. I should probably go get myself something to eat. Regardless, this has been a lot of fun going through some old Lego magazines and showing you guys what's going on in 1998 and in 2003 and in 2002. This one's still a 2002 magazine, and we'll still go through it a little bit more before I stop, but I am losing lighting and I am getting hungry, so it'll be about time for me to stop going live and start doing something else. But still, this is pretty cool, right? Some of these are really nice sets that were really fun to put together. Other ones I never got, and I don't know how they really were or what the experience was for most people that ended up getting them. But also just seeing the different types of intellectual property that they tried to create while putting out Lego sets. The Galador ones are very interesting to me. In 2002, I don't remember the Galador Lego sets, but it looks like they really put a lot into them because it feels like they have a lot of characters. And then it kind of goes to a Disney princess type of feeling that they had going on back in the 90s and the early 2000s. And yeah, they definitely had a lot going on here. Oh, and then their mini sets. Oh, these ones were really cool too. They were like Death Island type of ones where it's like kind of almost piratey and underwater type of exploration for sea adventures. And then there was like some sort of Mars series that also was coming out in 2002, which had these kind of pipes that you could launch things through, if you remember that correctly. I remember a couple friends having this one. It was cool. You push down on this thing and it shot a Lego through the pipes and it would shoot it out through the other side. And you'd like race people that way or see who can, go the furthest with them or whatever. And there's a Game Boy Advanced game right there. An ad for a Bionicles Game Boy Advanced game. Yeah, Bionicles were a big deal. I think that it actually did work out in Lego's favor to have the Bionicles. because the Bionicle's gotten to a pretty big series of different sets, which is what it's all about at the end of the day, because that means that they're probably making money off of each of those sets. Or why would they keep making them? Oh, and then the PlayStation 2 game as well attached. Yeah, they had a lot of promotions in these things. This is 2003, so this is when like it really made sense for them to push video games along with their Legos and to take that next step. I feel like Lego has made a lot of good decisions in the time frame that they've been around as a company. Build your robots and have them do your commands. All right, the robots that they used to make for Legos. This is a 2003 catalog for the holiday season. And this was all the Legos that they had. They had train sets again, another train set, and more Star Wars stuff. And the big scale Star Wars, which was the 3,000 piece Imperial Star Destroyer, which was a really big deal to get that one. Once again, I never got it. It was a really expensive Lego. I think the most expensive Lego at the time. But this was the 2003 catalog for the holidays of shopping at home with Legos. And that basically does it with some fun going throughs of different types of magazines from Lego. And really, honestly, I'm hungry now, and it is getting dark, and I don't really feel like bringing a light out here to continue being live on TikTok and live on YouTube. Yeah, which is both happening right now at the same time. And really, I think I'm just going to call it. And I hope you had fun watching me. I know I had fun going through these magazines, and I'll do something else later. And I'm still figuring out how to do this live thing. Maybe I'll do some more live stuff tonight on TikTok. I don't think I'm going to do anything else on YouTube today, but maybe. But then again, YouTube's more distracting because there's a lot of other stuff that I watch that's on YouTube that's distracting me most of the time. Regardless, there's also stuff on TikTok that distracts me too, because social media is a lot of fun to kind of dive into. Not gonna lie, I'm sure everyone can relate because everyone's on their phones right now watching this, which it does kind of add up. At the end of the day, it is a lot of fun to watch things online. But it is getting too dark in this room for me to keep filming, so thanks again for watching. Subscribe if you want, and catch me live again in the future. Hope you have a great day, and it was a lot of fun for me. I hope it was also fun for you.